Hi, this is blog for Wednesday. I really enjoyed today's speakers, and I guess I've kind of been exposed to the restorative justice thing in the past, and I had seen that Oprah show that they talked about with the family that met the killers. I've seen a lot of Oprah shows in my day, but I remember that one because I thought it was so interesting, and like I've seen some other news programs on it. So I hadn't really seen it how it applied to schools, and I thought that was really neat and really interesting because I think that kids don't learn how to solve problems. I'm thinking like in first grade, we had this thing. My first grade class this year that I taught in, we had something called the Peace Bridge. And if you had a problem with someone, you had to go to the Peace Bridge and work it out. And it's so easy to go to a third party to solve problems. And as adults, we still do that. I think most people feel more comfortable going to someone who they think will take their side and complaining and bitching and moaning. But really, what is probably more effective is to go directly to the person you have a problem with and be able to talk it out. And I think that kind of program where you're being held accountable for your actions and you're facing the people who you hurt is really powerful because it's really uncomfortable to sit there while somebody tells you what you did wrong and tells you what it did to them, and it's really uncomfortable. And so I think it's something to get used to, but I think it's so healthy for everyone to learn how to do that. So I think as an elementary teacher, I really think that can be part of the classroom. Just when kids have problems, don't sit there and talk to one, then talk to the other and punish one and pat the other on the back, say sorry, but sit them down and have them tell each other what's wrong and tell them how each other feels and things like that. And I think that's how you can apply it to your classroom more. And then I love the whole bigger school idea of creating a community by doing that. I think that's so neat. And for the middle and high schools, that it could be so beneficial when there's really big problems. The other part I really like about that program is that it's so important to keep the kids in school, especially those kids that are constantly in trouble. I guess I saw the value of that this year also when one of our students was, he should have been suspended every day. If he was in a lot of schools, he probably would have been. He hit and kicked teachers at least once a day. He was constantly pretending to shoot students, pretending to shoot teachers, making really graphic threats about killing you with a butcher knife and chopping your body up into pieces and all sorts of things. But the school realized that he needed to be there because we needed to get him into a different program. And so I was fortunate to be in a situation where that was possible and that the entire staff was on call pretty much to help out when needed with this student. But the easy way out would have been to suspend him, and then you come back 3 days later and suspend him again. But keeping him in school was beneficial, and next year he'll be getting the help he needs because of that. He wouldn't get it if he was never in school because we wouldn't have any data to get him the help he needed. But yeah, especially once there's a lot of academic content these kids are missing. Eventually, once you're suspended so many times, you're gonna want to give up because you're so behind and it's not worth it to try to catch up. So I really like that. I also love the programs that they have to get kids into actual jobs that they want or that they can do instead of trying to push everyone to college, because that is also something that I think is so important. I've been saying that a lot this blog, but I think it is important. And in junior achievement this past year, my first graders had it for 4 weeks, and it was based on a neighborhood, and so every week the JA guy came and he had a map of the community, of a community, a fictional community, first grade style, and every week they talked about all the different jobs that were on there, and so many of the jobs did not require college education, which for the population I was teaching was so valuable for them to see, like, oh, I don't need to go to college, but if I want certain jobs, I need to go. And so it was it was neat because the kids related to the jobs that were being presented. It wasn't like, here's the doctor and here's the lawyer and here's all these high paying professionals, or you know, it was, here's the pizza delivery man, here is the truck driver, and these kids relate because they have parents that work at McDonald's or parents that are truck drivers or things like that, and so they were really excited about it. And then for each, when kids had to say what job they wanted, they had to talk about what skills they need. So they had to figure out, do you need to go to college for that job? And it was never like, oh, that's not a good enough job, pick another one. It was like, okay, you don't need to go to college for that, but what other skills do you need? To be a truck driver, you're going to need to learn how to drive. You need your license. And for every job, you had to know how to read, which was great for them to, I guess, hear, because I think they need that idea in the head that they have to learn to read to be, at least have a decent fighting chance in society. But yeah, it was kind of a neat way to look at jobs, and I guess I'd never thought of jobs that way, but I saw like reflections of that in the program that our speakers talked about. So, love restorative justice. I think used properly can make a huge difference. Yeah, not right for everybody, but those who it can work for, I think, should be used. So, that's it for today.